The biblical account of David and Goliath is one of the most popular stories from Scripture. It is a lesson of courage, faith, and overcoming what seems impossible. David was the youngest of Jesse's 12 sons. One day, the nation of Israel was called to fight the Philistine army that had gathered for war. While David's brothers went to fight, young David stayed back. The two armies gathered to stand on opposite sides of a deep valley. A great Philistine giant named Goliath that stood at over 9 feet tall came to the front of the Philistine battle line each day for 40 days and mocked the Israelites and their God. Goliath called to them to fight, but King Saul and the Israelites were scared and did nothing. David was sent by his dad Jesse to visit the front lines and bring back battle news from his brothers. David heard Goliath mocking Israel and their God. David was brave and volunteered to fight Goliath. He persuaded King Saul to let him go fight and decided to not wear any of King Saul's armor. David carried his sling and gathered 5 smooth stones. Goliath laughed at David, but David responded that even though Goliath had a sword and spear, he came in the name of the Lord Almighty, the God of Israel. David put a rock in his sling and swung one of the rocks at Goliath's head. The rock sank into the giant's forehead and he fell. David then picked up Goliath's sword and used it to kill Goliath and cut off his head. The Philistines turned and ran when they saw their giant hero killed. Israel had won the battle because of a boy who had faith and trust in God.